Yes, hello and welcome to Armoury TV. I'm Mr. Silver Fox, and today I'm going to talk about why Arsenal fans should be excited about the season ahead, based on pre-season. So let's just get into it. Yes, that's right. It is Monday, the 25th of July, and today I'm going to talk about why I feel excited about the season ahead, and from what I've seen based in pre-season from Arsenal. Just before we do so, just a couple of things to talk about. Arsenal are interested in signing PSV winger forward Cody Gakpo. I think he'd be a great addition to the team. Still very young, very raw, talented, pacey. Um, gives you a lot, and I think it gives you another option. You can play anywhere on the front line, and it'll just give you another option. I'm not too sure how much PSV value him at. Do I think it will happen? I don't know. That remains to be seen. But a very exciting prospect, and if we did go for him, I wouldn't be dead against it. Also, Pablo Mari looks like he could be on his way to Fenerbahce, um, which I think is going to be a good deal for all. I don't. Arteta has him in his plans. Um, he didn't do too bad when he first come in, but he's not going to be that guy that takes us to the next level at the centre back position. With Saliba coming in as well now, he will get no playing time at all, so it makes sense to move him on. Not too sure. I couldn't really understand the tweet I saw earlier about it. It's either he'll go, that's like a free loan or something, and we pay the wages, or he goes off for free. I don't actually really know, but need to look into that one and then probably discuss that one further as the story develops. And also, Edu had an interview recently, and well, he's saying all the right things, isn't he? Yeah, I'm going to go into too much depth because James is going to take that one for us tomorrow, and he's going to dive into the interview and discuss even further. So I'm going to leave that one for James for tomorrow. But for now, today, I want to talk about Arsenal's pre-season, what I've liked, and why I think we should be excited about the season ahead. And I mean, it's quite simple, really. To start with, look, like I said, this is July the 25th. We've signed five players already. Whenever you've seen Arsenal do that before. And all these five players have been involved in pre-season. Obviously, the latest being Zinchenko, who looked brilliant, by the way, against Chelsea, as did everybody. Um, but he adds something, just like Jesus, that winning mentality. He's still young. He's hungry for more, and he's a top player, no matter what people say. Look, forget about what rival fans say. You know, you can only see what you see, and what we've seen from this guy just from one game, and we've seen him in the Premier League. We've seen, when he came on against Aston Villa the last season when Man City won the league. He changed the game and pretty much won the league for City. So we know what he can do. Um, Look, we've got ourselves a backup keeper on Matty Turner. I'll be honest, I'm not too sure about him. I don't know. I would like to keep Leno, but that's a completely different conversation. We might even go into that a little bit later on. Um, Marquinhos looks like he's going to be a great talent for the future. I don't expect to see too much of him this season. You might see him in the odd game in the Carabao Cup or the Europa League and whatnot. So we'll see what happens there with Marquinhos, but nonetheless, looks like a good player. Vieira not really had much playing time. Um, the profile, the player, he looks good. Again, probably won't see too much of him. I don't know. Maybe in the last stage of the season, probably will, as he gets a couple more minutes under his belt when he plays in the Carabao Cup and in some of these games in the Europa League. And then obviously Jesus, who's just hit the ground running. He's changed the shape of our front line, and he actually works well with Nketiah as well. So it'd be interesting to see if they do play together. Because from what we've seen from pre-season, it's been very exciting. His goals, the way he's taken his goals, his hold up, link up play with Odegaard, with the wingers. I mean, there's been something to be desired for, and it's something we've been crying out for such a long time now. As good as Lacazette was with the hold up play and the link up, he just gives us more. He seems just a bit more mobile, and You know, was it 4 goals, 1 assist in the games that he's played in pre-season? You know, bearing in mind obviously not all full 90 minutes as well. It's exciting. It really, really is exciting, and I think he could be, he can be a contender for the Golden Boot. You know, I'm expecting maybe at 20 goals this season in all competitions, which would be, you know, a great return for your first season at your new club. But you know, I think he could be considered 16 to 1. You might have a cheeky little couple of quid on it. You know what I mean? So why wouldn't you? Um, but it was just, you know, we we started with Nuremberg. Well, we played Ipswich behind closed doors, but then we started at Nuremberg, and look, people going, "Oh, look, you conceded 3 against them. You were 2-0 down at half time." But if you looked at our back line, we had Mari, who was only recognised centre back, with Tierney and Raoul Walters, so who were both fullbacks. Obviously, changed the team in the second half, put a couple more defenders on, and you know what happened there. We won 5-3, and then we went on to play Everton, 2-0 in Baltimore, and look at the way we're moving the ball around again. Some of the players that you're probably going to see play more often than none were getting involved. And you know, the way with the passing, the movement, you know, with Saliba, who's basically a new signing, and you know, just carrying off where they left off with Marseille, and obviously for the French national team. He's a very exciting player who can carry that ball forward and, you know, find spaces. And look, we'll go to the last 3 games because they're with more the ones you want to look at: the Everton, Orlando, and especially Chelsea. You know, the way the passing, the moving, the link up plays, the speed, the tempo we're playing at. Now, look, I know, you know, you're carried away. It's pre-season, but we haven't seen that, and we were playing the ball from the back properly, and that's all we've been crying out for. You know, it's, you know, and even Xhaka, you know, he gets a lot of criticism, and rightly so. He's like a different player now, and he's getting all. I think it's because if you get the right players around you, you know, you improve your game, and that's what Xhaka's done. And listen, I know a lot of people, like I said, within reason, don't like Granit Xhaka, but I think he's changing his game now, and especially since his red card against Liverpool last season, he's changed his game, and he's been given the license to do what Xhaka can do. What we've seen in the Swiss national team and what he's done at Mönchengladbach. So that, you know, this is the Xhaka we've been crying out for. Um, do I think he'll stay? Yeah, he'll stay. He'll definitely stay. Um, are we going to replace him? I'm not too sure. If we do get the Tillemans deal done, we probably expect to see him or Paqueta, which I'm a big fan of. I would probably rather have him start ahead of Xhaka, because Xhaka will still have a few hot moments. He's bound to get carded and get a couple of red cards here and there, do something silly, because that's Xhaka. That's the kind of personality of the player that he is. So look, what I've seen as well from this team is Partey's been given a little more freedom with the ball playing centre backs. He's been allowed to express himself further. Um, you know, and you always got Saka and Martinelli that always come back and help, and then just bomb forward again when they need to. It's exciting, man. It's really it's the main thing that excites me the most is the fact that we've got these players over the line before preseason. So we've got them playing in preseason and they've been performing well, especially Jesus and lately Zinchenko, who's only played 1 game. It looks like he's been there forever. There was a training video at Arsenal put out yesterday. He looks like he's been playing for them for ages. So, you know, it just shows how much of a top quality player he is, and the profile players that we've gone through as well. They're quite versatile and they can play in different positions. And you know, if a game's going a certain way, they can change their game with no problem at all. Which is another thing that I'm excited about. And obviously, the players that we are linked with, again, like Paqueta, can play anywhere in midfield. He can go wide areas. He can even go forward, and it does the defensive duties quite well as well. So you know, that's exciting. Tillemans, we know what he's about. We've seen him in the Premier League. We've seen what he's done for Leicester City. So look, I'm excited. I'm comfortable. I'm not trying to get overhyped from what I've seen in preseason, because it is only preseason, and some teams were just like they're just there for the fitness, you know, and just to get a run out. But against Chelsea, I mean, the way we were playing with that game, and I don't want to go too much into it because the guys obviously did a review to it yesterday, and I don't want to echo what they say because I basically will do, and that's just how good it was to watch. And look, if you asked me when the fixtures come out, Palace away, I was like, oh, I don't know. We always find it hard at Palace. I think we've only won there once in the last like 6, 7 years or whatever it is. So it was always going to be a bit of a concern. But the way I see this team, I see how Edu and Arteta are doing, it is, you've got every right to be excited. Now, if I'm just going to pop up what I believe that as the squad is now, because I don't really think we're going to sign any players. Well, if we do sign players, they'll get into the team for the Palace game because we're now we're Monday 25th, so we've got 11 days until the Palace game. But this is what I think we'll probably go with against Palace. Now, I do remember seeing, I was watching the review yesterday, and the guys were saying that it would play Saliba at right back instead of White. They were talking about White or Saliba at right back. I would go with Cedric. I don't know what games some of the guys are watching, with all due respect, but they were saying how White got terrorised by Zaha playing at right back. In fact, he wasn't at right back. I can't remember who it was. I think it might have been Tommy Yasin, and he come off injured. I can't remember. But the two goals in the first half against Palace came from the side that Tavares was on, and obviously he came off at half time. And then obviously the penalty in the third half was a bit of a clumsy challenge from Odegaard. So I think this team could be all right. I'm quite comfortable with it. I don't think Tommy Ash is going to be ready. I don't think Tierney is going to be ready. So that's why I've got Zinchenko and Cedric in there. I wouldn't risk White or Saliba at right back. Because Cedric, hit and miss Cedric can be, he's a decent right back. I think obviously Gabriel's going to be a shoe-in. He's going to be in there as the first centre back. Next to him, I think it'll be a coin flip between Saliba and White. But from what I've seen pre-season, Saliba has impressed me the most. So I'd like to think he's impressed Arteta the most for him to start against Palace. But I wouldn't be surprised if he went with White, because it does kind of make sense. Because first Premier League game, Saliba straight in there away at Palace could be a little bit tricky with the physical players that they do have going up top. But I think Saliba would handle it well. And then obviously their party, I think Xhaka will start, Odegaard will start. And then obviously I think the front three actually picks itself now in Jesus, Martinelli and Saka. They just have this, they just have this rhythm between them and Odegaard as well. And even Xhaka. In fact, the whole team. it's I think that's what we'll go with. And I think this game would be different. Not too sure if they got any injury problems. Palace, I believe. I think Elise might be back in time. I know he's got a bit of an injury. I know MacArthur is not going to be available, which is good after he tried to chop Saka in half last season at the Emirates, and obviously got away with that. But let's not go into that again. But yeah, I would be comfortable with that lineup. Do I think we could beat Palace? I don't know. I don't know. First, look, we've always been a team. When the pressure's off, we can do anything, like you've seen against Chelsea, and in the pre-season friendly. But I like to think that there's this new mentality in there now, and you see all these videos and that, how the camaraderie is just they're all there for each other. They all believe in each other. The way they speak about each other, just be excited. Forget about what rival fans say. Yeah, they're rivals. They're gonna take a dump on us, just like we take a dump on them. And I did put a tweet out yesterday, which I was supposed to put one of the best centre back depths in the Premier League. Obviously, missed that bit out. I got absolutely hammered by Liverpool fans, and probably rightly so. Not really much of Man City fans, but I actually do believe that whoever starts at centre back, for me, I'm comfortable with. Obviously, you all know I'm a big football Holding fan, so I'm obviously going to be comfortable if he starts. But with the choices that we have, and then obviously if Tommy Yasu's fit, he can fit in there as well. So I'm really comfortable with the centre back situation. Full back, but left back, I'm not too bad. Now we've got Zinchenko. Obviously, you've got Tierney, who would probably be the start, but I think Zinchenko will start the first game because we're not too sure what's going on with Tierney. Tommy Yasu always seems to worry me because he missed a lot of games last season and he's missed a lot pre-season. And look, I think our main issues, well, the main areas we need to address this windows were the ones that we have actually gone and done, and now the next one is midfielder for me. Um, but the depth is looking good. I think I agree with what King said. I think a Benacer to cover a party would be ideal. As good as El Neni can be on his day, he hasn't got that consistency. Um, and Party, as King put it, it's not if, it's when he gets injured, and we need to have that bit of quality there. And I think Benacer is that kind of player. And then we get like a Paqueta or a Tielemans, and I think that's all we need to do. Right, so let's talk about the players that I do think will go. So Maitland-Niles will be gone, Torreira will be gone, Mari will be gone, and Bellerin will be gone. They're the four that definitely go. Pepe, if we get the right offer for him, he'll go. I would probably want to get that 30 million for him. If we weren't to get another winger, we could probably stomach another season with him, maybe to back up Saka. I don't know. It's a funny one. I think a winger we do need to get, but I wouldn't be upset if he did stay. We've seen what he's done in the Europa League and the Carabao Cup, so he can play in them. Leno, I would love to keep because I'm not too sure on Matty Turner. So I would keep Leno, but if he obviously he wants to play, if he wants to play, he has to go somewhere else. And then hopefully we can just work on Turner, and Turner just gets better. And then I hear people saying they want to get rid of Holding Cedric and who was the other? There's a third one. Hold on, it might come back to me. But anyway, these I'll be happy. Oh, Xhaka, right? People want to get rid of those three, but I'll be absolutely fine with them staying. They. If you was to get a big offer for them, and you're tempted, maybe if it helps bring in another player. But with those three, I'm comfortable with them staying. And I think going into the season, we should be excited. But this video was to get your opinions as well. Do you agree with what I've been saying? Do you think that would be the starting 11 against Crystal Palace? What players would you get rid of? What players would you bring in? What is the main priority now after Zinchenko? Is it a 6? Is it a ball-playing midfielder, like a backup to like Odegaard, or a winger? Or even any other position, let us know. Please throw in the comments, and I'll get back to you. But listen, it's only been a short one. You're going to get a few of these for the next 6 weeks now. Obviously, daily duties. It's the summer holidays now. I can't really commit to doing live panel streams. They'll come back once he's back to school and everything's back to normal again. I'm not going to be about next week. And I'm hoping that we do beat Sevilla on the weekend, because all this will end up being for nothing. It would be a little bit awkward. But and obviously I can't back myself up because I'm not around next week because I'm away on holiday. But before I do go, we do have a fantasy football league. Please do join. You must be subscribed to be eligible for a prize. It's nothing major, really a little prize. Bragging rights, especially just a bit of fun. Everyone loves doing fantasy football, so why not join our league? Code's there. I'll put a link in the description for it as well. But yeah, this is all I really wanted to discuss today, really. I just wanted to get your views as well. Do let us know what you think. And I'm going to go and, like I said, do my fatherly duties. I've been going for nearly 20 minutes now. And give us your predictions for the Sevilla game. Are you going to be there to watch them? I like to think, actually, because it's in front of a home crowd, they're going to put on the same kind of display they did against Chelsea. Show the boys what they're all about. It's going to be good. I wanted to go, but so I've got work this week, and then I'm off next week, so I had no choice but to miss it. But listen, please do like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. Like I said, James will be back tomorrow. He's going to talk about the Edu interview and anything else that pops up in the next 24 hours or so. But I've been Mr. Silver Fox. You've been watching the Armoury TV, and I am out of here.